Okay, so picture this. You're a fractional executive, you've been grinding on LinkedIn, posting thought leadership content every single day, maybe even guesting on some podcasts, and nothing's happening. That was my client David 6 weeks ago. He's over 29 years of experience and wasn't getting any inbound leads. Today, his book, which had 0 reviews and wasn't even ranking on Amazon, is now quietly feeding him qualified calls, qualified inbound leads every single week. And he has 2 new projects already in the pipeline since we've started. Here's the thing. If you're a fractional executive watching this, you've probably been told that you need a book. You have a book in you. But nobody tells you how to turn that book into an actual client getting machine. So in the next 12 minutes, I'm going to show you the 5 steps that I used to take my client's dead in the water book and turn it into a predictable lead funnel. So even if you've never run an ad in your life, even if your book has 0 reviews, and especially if you're tired of posting into the LinkedIn void, check this out. So this guy comes to me and he's frustrated. He goes, Zach, I spent 6 months writing this book about software and how these businesses can use it for their supply chains. I've been posting about it on, I mentioned it on 3 podcast interviews, and I've sold maybe 5 copies to friends. The problem? He was thinking about his book like a product to sell, but here's what changed everything. Your book isn't a product. It's a client acquisition tool. So think about it this way. What's your client lifetime value? For my client, it's between $30,000 to $150,000 per engagement. So if he spends $300 on Amazon ads and gets 1 client, that's like 100x return. Now, most fractional execs are out there trying to sell $29 books. They're using books, and we're using books to sell $30,000 contracts. See, Amazon is not a bookstore. It's a search engine where your exact ideal clients are typing in their biggest problems. They are not just browsers. These are buyers with budgets. So once my client understood that, we could actually build the engine. And here's this 5-step relaunch framework we used. So just to level with you, week 1, reviving this book was rough. We had 0 reviews. The subtitle was just his name. It was buried on page 47 of search results. And when I typed in his name, the book wouldn't even show up. I remember pulling up the Amazon page and thinking, okay, we're basically starting from scratch here, or even less than starting from scratch. But that's okay, because Amazon gives new or relaunched books a honeymoon period where they'll show you to more people. We just had to be ready. And here's the exact framework I used. I call it BookFlow. And step 1 is we needed to relook at all of the metadata. So we wrote his subtitle to include keywords about entrepreneurial resource planning. That's a mouthful. We moved him into less competitive categories where he could actually rank. And I think of it almost like SEO. I think of this like SEO, but it works instantly on Amazon. Now, step 2 is discovery ads. We started with about $10 a day across 3 campaign types. The goal wasn't sales, it's to collect data. So we need to find out what phrases his buyers are actually searching for. Step 3 are all about the precision exact match ads. So we take the winners from discovery and we go deeper with those. So from discovery, which is kind of Amazon testing a bunch of stuff, we can see categories, we can see competitor books, we can see exact terms that are getting clicks and sales, and we can start targeting competitor books like The Gold by Goldratt or other relevant books. And we can cut anything that have click rates below 0.35%, which is what we aim for. Step 4 is where the magic begins, because on page 2 in the intro of the book, we have a banner offering a free case study pack, which just sent them to his website for the case studies. We also give them the option to go directly to his Calendly. So it's very simple. There's no big build out, no funnel, no email list build out. We can start with a minimum viable product of his book and just have the call to action be to connect with him directly in his calendar or go directly to his website for more information. And so a lot of people, they never get their book to work for them because it turns into this never-ending project that the book itself may never actually be done and perfect and may need tweaking and rewrites and this and that, and it turns into a whole never-ending project. But the marketing goes through the same story because you want an assessment and you want an email autoresponder series and you want a lead magnet and you need it all on landing pages and this and that. And it becomes a very expensive and very time-consuming process for something that you may not have testing or validation behind. So what we just did is we changed the metadata. We actually relaunched the book with a new title, subtitle, and cover art so that it's more attractive and clickable on Amazon. We ran the Amazon ads data because those are very cost effective and can show us instantly that people searching for specific things are clicking and buying on the book to validate our positioning and marketing. And then inside the book, for people that bought the book, have a problem, and like what David's talking about, they can get into his world even deeper, whether it's a phone call, whether it's his website. In my book personally, I have a place for them to opt into my email list, and that's what really fuels the whole system. And you might be thinking, okay, this sounds good, but does this actually work? So 3 weeks in, David texts me at like 9 p.m. because he's been traveling, and he said, dude, I just got off a call with this VP of operations. He bought my book the other day, and he reached out to me and said we had to talk. And he was super excited that we had this inbound lead. And this is so profound to me because we started with 0 views, 0 visibility, 0 leads, and just him posting about his book, getting maybe 300, 400 impressions a week on a good week. 30 days later, we had 76,000 impressions. So people seeing his book on Amazon, 146 clicks to his book page as we were dialing things in, a whole bunch of verified reviews, and 11 qualified leads booking calls with 2 projects active in the pipeline. Now our total spend on this was $208.75. And the 3 things that really made this work, if I can impress anything upon you, it's this. First, we had it as really specific. So for this case, it was digital transformation supply chain, super specific, got a 0.61% click rate. That's double the Amazon average that we're looking for. So your buyers use specific language when they're searching things up. So find what that is. Second, our CTA pulled in about a 14% opt-in rate. So 1 in 7 buyers wanted his case study pack because it directly solved the problem they bought the book for, and they were curious for more. Third, we kept ACOS, which is the ad cost divided by sales, at around 70 to 100%. Now the goal here is we're not just selling books, but we're getting conversations with decision makers. So that number can be higher than what you would typically expect in a lot of Amazon ad courses or information. Now, if you're thinking your book has 0 reviews, it might be tough for you to get similar results. You have to understand that reviews are important, but they're not the be all end all. And I have another video on how to get reviews, but people who are searching on Amazon for your book are willing to take something with less reviews if it's more specific. So if you have a compelling description, if they feel confident in the book, they're getting an answer to their problem. If you don't have 100 reviews, that's no problem. You just need to have a few to seed it. And again, I have another video showing you how to do this. And once you get all this set up, the BookFlow takes me like 15 minutes a week to manage. You're just turning off keywords that don't work and adding budget to the ones that do. So if you could use Gmail, you can do this. And if you don't even have a book yet, and you're a agency, fractional executive, a coach with real expertise, you could outline and even write a book this weekend and have it up on Amazon in 30 days. I'm talking like 25,000 words, not War and Peace, because your expertise is already in your head. And if you're someone that's tired of the outreach hamster wheel or tired of podcast guesting that goes nowhere, and you're just working all the time on a million random acts of marketing that don't seem to be panning out, your book could be quietly generating leads for you 24/7 instead. While you sleep, while you're on client calls, while you're at your kids' soccer games. I mean, my client went from 0 inbound leads to 2 projects in the pipeline in about 30 days. And he's not special. We just I just followed the framework. And so if this resonates with you, I have 2 ways that I can help. First, you can grab my book, The Book That Gets Clients, on Amazon. It's got the full process and model behind what we do to turn your expertise into inbound leads. Or if you want to look at your specific situation, shoot me an email with your biggest book marketing challenge or your book ideas, and I will personally respond to give you feedback on that. Either way, stop leaving money on the table. Stop making marketing harder than it has to be. Your future clients are searching for you on Amazon right now. It's the most overlooked platform for businesses, and it's time to show up, to give value, and make your business grow. That's what I got. Peace.